friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. Well, now I'm bringing you part 2 of my main garden update, and I'm going to focus more on this side of the garden. This is the east side, and as you can see, I got some calendula growing in this corner and this mammoth one. You gotta see how big this thing is. I have never seen one this big. So this one I'm definitely going to allow to go to seed. But I wanted to catch this video after the calendula opened and before I harvest it, because I'm going to be cutting a bunch of these off and dehydrating them today. That one is staying, of course. In fact, I might leave this one too and let this one go to seed as well. But there'll be plenty more where those came from. I've got calendula growing everywhere. On this corner right here is a random red lettuce, and you'll hear me say the word random a lot because it's either something that's self-seeded like this or something I just planted in a random area. And all along here where last year I was growing my ground cherries, I have tomatillos, and this is my very first year growing tomatillos, and in fact I've never tried a tomatillo. I've never even had a salsa verde. So this is a totally new experiment for me, and since I saw how good the ground cherries were doing, and tomatoes only grow so-so here, I figured going with a salsa verde and some tomatillos might be the way for me to go. And we'll see how that works. It looks like they're growing well. It took a while because, like everything else, being way behind, but now they're just taking off and I'm very excited. So, and I do of course have ground cherries coming up. Some of them I'm leaving, some of them I pulled up and thrown out, and some of them I pulled up and replanted in other places. My peas, I showed you those in the last video. They are, like I said, this is about where they would have been about 2 months ago. Let's see, today is I think the 19th of July. And I believe you'll see this on the 20th or the 21st. And just now getting some peas off of there, and boy, they're tasty. The main reason I grow peas, and I only just grow a small section, is not so much for storing and using for the future. When I do, I like to freeze them up. I shell them and freeze them and then just throw them into whatever. But my main purpose is I love eating them fresh out of the garden. Just come through here and just pick them and eat them just right from there. My very favorite thing to do. And I harvested some dandelion flowers today, and I see I missed one. The dandelions always bloom before the calendula, so I'll have to get that on the dehydrator. Oh, there's another one. And then, of course, one of my lavenders. This is one of my favorites right here. I love this one. There's a couple more that are similar to this one out front that I showed you in the west side garden, but this one gets bigger flowers than those, so this is my very favorite lavender that I have. And I should probably harvest some flowers, but boy, look how pretty it looks against the beans. So you got the red from the scarlet runners, and the yellow from the tomatillos, and the purple from the lavender. I just love this. Oh, and of course the yellow from the dandelion flowers that I keep missing. Now somebody asked me a question, I think it might have been on my Steam It account, because I did do, and just so you know, I do more garden updates there because I can do that a lot quicker. I can take a few pictures and put that up. It's a lot quicker process than putting a video together and then having to edit. However, so if you don't have a Steam It account, go check it out and log in. You'll be able to find, see a lot more updates from me there. But at any rate, somebody had asked me about the runner beans, the scarlet runners, and they thought they were just ornamental, but no. I mean, the runner beans are actually my favorite to grow in this area because they do very well. They give me tons of beans. I get high production out of them, and they're multi-purpose. So I can use them as a green bean, and I can let them dry, and they make a good dry bean. And last year I tried making a pot of chili with them, and it turned out really good. So it was my first time making a pot of, no, my second time actually, making a pot of chili from my own homegrown beans. It was very cool. So more tomatillos. Look at that. This is just so exciting, people. I mean, every time I get to try something new and I see it do well, it just brings me so much joy and satisfaction. Now over here in this very thin section, I've got a couple of tomatoes because I just got to the point where it's like, I'm just going to put anything here because nothing wanted to grow here because everything I was planting here was just not doing anything. So I went ahead and planted a couple more runner beans when I realized the beans I had planted here were not doing anything. And that included, which is right there, if you can see that kind of purpley plant, that was one of my purple potted pole beans, which have always done very well for me. Not this year. Nope, not this year. I'd planted those right there, a bunch of them. After I realized the beans that Jen sent me, thank you, Jen. I appreciated all those beans. I was so excited, but they're not wanting to grow for me, and I'm pretty sure it's simply because they came from California. Now I believe that might be the Otsuki there. Those little small green ones, and so maybe they're going to grow. They're just going to come along a lot later, but it took forever. I replanted a couple times and they're still just poking along. So then I went and planted my purple potted pole beans because I'm like, well, I know these will grow, and that's it. That's all I have. It's just that one, and it looks terrible. So actually it looks like maybe those Otsuki beans might do okay compared to those. I got a kale there. I got some more. Right in there is another ground cherry, another tomato. This is a cherry. This one's aroma that I still keep forgetting to come out and tie up. And it has a bean wrapping around it. So maybe I'll just wrap the bean back over there and let the bean hold it in place. That'd work. Okay, I want to come back here because I realized I forgot something. And I might have shown it in another video, but this right here is one of my goji berry plants that I thought had completely died, and it's actually doing quite well. So then I want to go down this section, and this is probably my second favorite lavender plant because I like the darker flowers than the lighter ones, and then these just have the longer, more slender flowers. And the greens on this are really good, but I failed to get out here and keep up on picking the greens and dehydrating them, but I have tons from last year, so I'm good. But anyway, you can see my borage is going crazy, and now that the weather's warm and the borage is all over, so are the bees. Bees everywhere out here. And it's wonderful. It'll get so thick with borage and bees that, I mean, I'll just have bees all around me, but I've never been stung by one. The only thing I've been stung by was a yellow jacket last year because it landed on my arm and I wasn't paying attention, and I kind of slapped at it and then it stung me. I just felt something on my arm and slapped at it, but I used the plantain. That plantain, see right there? I was standing in the garden, I grabbed a leaf, chewed it up, stuck it on there, and the sting went away and didn't even leave a mark. It was great. So you'll see the borage planting, you know, I just let it self-seed and grow wherever it wants, and as it gets too thick, I just start to harvest it and throw it to the chickens. The chickens love it. I'll just pull it up by the root. I dehydrate the leaves, I put them in my mixed greens, and I put the flowers in my salad. But I also use it as a chop and drop. Sometimes I'll throw it into the grass along with the plantain, because I had some more real big plantains. If they get too big and are taking up too much room, I just pull them up, throw them in the yard, mow over them, and then put them back in the garden as a mulch. That's what you'll see down here. The sweet potatoes I'm trying out this year, the slips started out great. Thanks to Doug and Stacy for that. But as soon as I got them in the garden, they quit growing. They just quit. Oh, so did the zucchini. You can see my zucchini. This is way behind. A lot of the things that once I transplanted it, it just quit growing because it got too cold, turned yellow, and I know it wasn't because of lack of nutrients. It was because it got so cold and it just quit. And the zucchini did that. What else? There was something else. You know, the sweet potatoes did it, and something else did that. They just turned yellow and quit growing. But now that it's finally warmed up, they're starting to take off. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get some sweet potatoes. Now you'll also see some lamb's quarter. I'm just allowing, I can't remember if I said this in the last video, but I'm just allowing that to grow because it's the first year in like 3 years I've seen lamb's quarter come back in my garden, and I really want lamb's quarter, so I'm going to leave that. I'm not touching it. I'm not moving it. I don't care that it's right next to my sweet potatoes. I want that to go to seed and give me plenty more. Oh, the other thing was the kale. I think I mentioned this in the last video. Usually kale just grows like crazy here, and it's just been kind of just meh. Right there, by the way, is some amaranth. That is the Love Lies Bleeding. Oh, and I did want to show you, I am finally getting some females on my zucchini. So I'm not just getting male flowers anymore. So that means I should, as soon as these bloom, even though I got plenty of bees, I'm probably still going to come out here with a paintbrush just to make sure that they get pollinated. Alright, so now I wanted to tell you about my corn. Corn is a very tricky thing, just like tomatoes here, and peppers. And this was the corn. There's a mix here. It's all the same corn, obviously. I'm not growing more than one kind, because you just can't do that in such a small area. But half of these were the ones I started in the little paper cups that you would have seen in a couple, 2-3 months ago in the video update I did. In the greenhouse. That was the third thing, that's right. Once they looked healthy, I planted them out here. The weather got cold, they turned yellow and stopped growing. So I waited a few weeks and then went ahead and direct seeded some more corn right next to them to see which would do better. Well, I don't know what's what, except for this is the only one I know for sure was the one that came from a cup. The rest of them I don't know. They all look the same. So I'm not doing the paper cup thing again. That was a waste of time. Well, no, it wasn't a waste of time. It was a lesson. So a cheap lesson at that. I didn't have to pay much for it. It's not like college. Anyway, so my sunflowers are coming along slowly. And yes, people, you Texas people, this is the way it is up north. It takes us a lot longer to get sunflowers. But I'm wondering, I have a question for people growing sunflowers that also have blue jays. Have you ever tried bird netting on sunflowers? I've never heard of people doing that, but I may have to do that because I'm growing the sunflowers mostly for the sake of our chickens. And a couple years ago I had beautiful sunflowers. The stupid blue jays came, ate every single seed off of it, and when they ran out, they started knocking on my back door. Yeah, little jerks. So, okay, mostly that's all I wanted to focus on today was just this side of the garden. Next update I'll do that side of the garden. And again, I'm just trying to keep these a little bit short so they're not too long because I could go on forever. I might show you one more thing. This echinacea right here, the petals are starting to turn pink. Very excited. I've been harvesting my echinacea leaves and dehydrating them for medicine. And soon I'll have flowers and I'll be dehydrating the petals of those too. My marshmallow is starting to flower. So it won't be long before I'll be doing a video update or doing a medicinal herb video on the marshmallow. So you guys can learn why I grow it, besides the fact that it smells wonderful and it looks beautiful. I'm going to call it good for this video update. So be watching for more. I'll try to do at least one a week. I don't want to overwhelm you with garden updates, but there's a lot going on now, finally. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.